Welcome back. This week we will be taking measurements and placing them onto a table, a line plot, in order to find the total amount of liquid in a container. So we start with a picture, and if you look right here, we have different cups, different beakers with different amounts of water in them. If you want to be able to tell them apart, you can color the glasses with the same fractional part, the same color, but for this video I'm just going to leave it blank so you can make sure you see it. So now we're ready to move from our picture to our table. And so this says 1/8. So I'm going to find all the things that have 1/8 in them, and I'm going to put, you can either do tally marks or you can just count and write the number. For this example, I'm going to do tally marks just to make sure I don't miss anything. So if we're looking at our picture, we have a 1/8 there, so I put a 1, and I might put a little dot to remind me that I've counted that one. And then I keep looking, and I keep looking, and I keep looking, and I don't see anything else for 1/8, so we're done with 1/8. Now we need to look for 1/6. So I look, and I put a little dot there, put a mark there. I keep looking, I keep looking, I see one there, put a mark, I see one there, put a mark. So far, fairly easy. Now we're going to go to 1/4. So I'm looking, there's one, put a dot, put a tally, put a dot, put a tally, put a dot, put a tally. So now we're done with our 1/4. Now it's time for us to go to 1/3, and so we have 1/3 up here, we have 1/3 right here, we have 1/3 right here. And now finally we're ready to go to 1/2. So we have 1/2 here, and we have 1/2 here. So that's basically counting, matching things according to what category they fall into. So now we're ready to take it to the next step. And you can use your pictures, or you can use your table to do the line plot. I recommend that you use your picture, just in case you miscounted over here. That will kind of serve as your checks and balance system. So here's our line plot, and it's drawn out from least to greatest. And so we need to know how many 1/8. Well, according to my table, there's 1. But I'm going to do a second look, just in case, and I agree. So I'm going to put an X right there for 1. Now we're going to go to 1/6. The table says we have 3, so I should be able to find 3. 1, 2, 3. Now watch how we do this. We go 1, then we go on top of it, 2, we go on top of it, 3. Alright? Now we're ready to go to 1/4. We should have 3 according to our table. So 1, 2, 3. I confirm it. 1, 2, 3. Notice we're putting them on top, not side to side. This is very important for making a line plot with fractional parts. Alright, so now we're ready to go to 1/3. I should have 3. 1, 2, 3. And I do. And I'm sorry you can't see the top of the picture, but there are 3, so same thing. I go 1, 2, 3. So now we're ready to check our last one, which is 1/2, and there should be 2 according to our table, and there are 2. 1, 2, and I start at the bottom and I go 1, 2. So finally I want to know how much water is there in all of these things. So now we go to our total amount. Now when we get to our total amount, we're really going to be using our addition and multiplication strategies for fractions in order to find the total. So this is how we set it up. There's 1x, so I'm going to do 1 times, and that's 1/8, plus 1, 2, 3, 3 times 1/6, plus 1, 2, 3 again, 3, times 1/4, plus 3 times 1/3, plus 2 times 1/2. And so we have whole numbers times fractions. And you know, anytime we have a whole number, it's always over 1. So it's like an imaginary 1 under each of those numbers. So now we're ready to multiply. Remember, when we multiply fractions, we multiply the numerator, then we multiply the denominator. So for this, we get 1 over 8. Because we did 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 8 is 8. Plus, now here we have 3 over 6. So 3 times 1 is 3. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. Plus, right down here, 3 times 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Plus, 2 times 1 is 2. And then 1 times 2 is 2. So that's all of our numbers. But we're not finished yet, because now we actually have to add these together because we're trying to find the total amount. So, looking at these two, 3 over 3, 2 over 2, I know that these are just going to be 1. So we can kind of leave those to the side for a moment. So now we're looking at these three, and we have to find the common denominator. Well, I know 24 will work. Because 8 times 3 is 24, 6 times 4 is 24, 4 times 6 is 24. But if you wanted to do 8 times 6 is 48, and 48 times 4, you could do that too to find the common denominator. It's your choice. But for this video, I'm going to use 24. So I'm going to get 24 here. I'm going to get 24 here. So, for 24, now we're ready to say, okay, I multiply by 3, so that needs to go 3. Multiply by 4, this becomes 12. And I multiply by 6, so this becomes 18. So now we're ready to add those numbers together, and we get 3 plus 12 is 15, plus 18 is 33. So now we have 33 over 24 plus 1 plus 1 is 2. So we know, if we look at this, that this is an improper fraction. So we have to use our rules of division to simplify. So I'm going to put it over here on the side where I have room. 33 goes one time. So 24 goes on the bottom. Now we're ready to subtract. We can't do that. We have to borrow. So when we read it around the circle, this becomes 1 and 9 over 24. But both of those numbers are divisible by 3. So now we get 1 and 3/8 plus 2. So when we put that all together, we get 3 and 3/8 for our total answer. So now you really have to dive into your rules for fractions, adding fractions, multiplying fractions, to get the answer. If you wanted to have simplified this one before you started adding, you could have done that too. Alright, good luck guys. Bye.